Drop the Bass Scale. Welcome to Drop the Bass. Welcome to Drop the Bass Scale, where we are reviewing Suicide Squad today. And yes, I am dressed like the Joker. Sorry, this seemed like a good idea, and it really wasn't. Anyway, Suicide Squad. So Suicide Squad is about a group of incarcerated villains and metahumans who are given a chance to do something good with their lives by having a task force assembled so that they can fight a supervillain. And the movie stars Will Smith as Deadshot, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, Jared Leto as the Joker, an average white guy as Ric Flair, The Help as Amanda Waller, Portman Sam Haiti as Captain Boomerang, Diaz de los Muertos as Diablo, CGI as Killer Croc, an average British actress as Enchantness, Knives Chow as Katana, and then finally you have adult version of Johnny Tsunami as Slipknot. So what did I like about the movie? The characters were written pretty well. Well, at least the ones who were actually seen on screen a lot of the time. I know that David Ayer had only a limited time to write the script. He focused more on the characters than the plot of the movie, and I'll get to that in a second. But for what he wrote for some of the characters were great. Will Smith as Deadshot was actually pretty good. At first I thought it was going to be another Will Smith playing a Will Smith role, but instead Deadshot actually turned to be a character that I actually rooted for. It was a character that I cared about, that I wanted to see him do good. Who am I kidding? Will Smith just played a Will Smith role. That's all he really did. I'm trying to add something nice about Will Smith, but Will Smith basically played every character he ever does in an action comedy movie. Aside from Will Smith, Margot Robbie really was the top character from the movie. So Margot Robbie was completely invested in her role, and she did phenomenal. She was one of the best screen adaptations of Harley Quinn that I've ever seen, and I really love that she enjoyed getting to that role. And you can really tell that she enjoyed playing the character and did her research of the role. You can tell that she was trying to take that sort of normal doctor that got turned by the Joker into this sort of crazy psychotic character. But even though I thought she did a good job, my favorite character out of anybody in the Suicide Squad was Diablo. He seemed to be the only character that really understand his morals. I really like seeing him struggle with himself, struggle with the powers that he had and the acts that he had done to really want to be a different person. But the character that I enjoyed the most was Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. She was the ruthless, badass agent who assembled the group and took no shit from anybody. You actually feared her more than any of the villains who were in the movie. The other things I enjoyed about the movie was that the CGI and visuals were done really well. The cinematographer had a good goal of keeping the tone of the movie looking dark, and I really enjoyed the witty banter that the characters had with one another. So what did I not like about the movie? The biggest problem with the movie was the plot. Now, David Ayer did a great job of writing these characters. He really fleshed them out. He did a good job of making you see these characters as being unique, but the problem was that the plot that they had in the movie was not enjoyable at all. From the beginning of the movie, it seemed like there was two different stories being told. There was a light, fun, sort of tongue-in-cheek story that was going on, compared to the end half of the movie, which was more of that dark DC tone that I love. Another thing that I really liked about the movie was the poor character balancing. Other than maybe Deadshot, Amanda Waller, Margot Robbie, and somewhat of Diablo, the other characters like Killer Croc, Katana, Rick Flag, and any of the other characters, they were kind of in the background of the movie. There would be sequences that would pass for a long time that you wouldn't see them, and they would reappear, and you're like, oh yeah, they exist, they're in this movie. But the worst thing of everything in the movie was the lack of Joker. Yes, even though I'm wearing Joker makeup right now, he was not in it at all, and he was probably one of the worst things about the movie. The Joker was really only in it for about maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and in the time that he was there, you never felt like he had the authority, He never felt like he was somebody that you want to fear. He never really felt like the Joker of something like from The Dark Knight. Now, yes, I know the Joker was trying to be a different character in this movie, but the script was completely written wrong for his character. And even though Jared Leto tried to give everything that he had to this character, at the end of the day, he really couldn't give more than what was written to him. The Joker in this movie felt like an edgy teenager who shops at Hot Topic, who put on makeup, and was like, oh yeah, I'm the Joker, I know what to do with this character. He did a good job, but there's nothing written well for him, so he had nothing to really work off of to make himself seem outstanding in any sense. So what would I have done differently? One of the main problems of the movie was the villain. The villain was overpowered, yet in the final sequence in the movie, they really created this villain to be level ground to the Suicide Squad. Even though the Suicide Squad had no match against this villain. The villain could have easily taken them out in one single swipe of a power of any sense and defeated them. Yet, the writing wasn't really there to make it seem like the Suicide Squad could really take on this villain. I have the hiccups right now, so I'm sorry about this. So we're gonna try to finish this as soon as we can. Another thing I would have done with the movie was keep it more dark. DC's always been a much darker universe, and the first half of this movie didn't really reflect that. I would want what was in the second half of the movie to be reflected more in the first half. And the last thing I would try to have done in the movie was made the characters more balanced. I would have actually tried to omitted a few characters from the movie that were within the Suicide Squad, so the characters in the Suicide Squad would have been more fleshed out, and you would have had more of a reason to care for them, more of a reason for you to have hope that they changed, and it would have made you more attached to these characters. So in the vast scale, at the end of the day, I would give Suicide Squad I would give it a 3. At the end of the day, I know it's not a great movie and it has a lot of flaws within its screen and script, but at the end of the day, it's the most enjoyable DC Universe movie outside the Nolan universe. And I would say it's the most enjoyable Justice League movie that we've seen so far. Even with its flaws, you enjoy the action, you enjoy the characters, and you're left with wanting more. So there's my review. If you enjoy this video, you should give it a like. And if you want to see more, subscribe to my channel. These hiccups. So what did you think about Suicide Squad? Let me know, and let me know what movie you want me to review next. I need more alcohol for this shit. Oh shit. That actually hurt.